Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining our third season of Dell Talk. We are really excited to bring two of our great partners, Craig and Vernon from Milestone Mortgage Solutions, who are joining us today. We appreciate your partnership. We appreciate your business. Thank you guys very much for joining our Dell Talk today. How are you?
I'm good, Dell. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. So you guys are, all jokes aside, you guys are in a storm right now. There's wind blowing right now in your part. Tell us what part of the country you guys are in.
We're located in Dartmouth, Massachusetts, South Coast, Massachusetts. So we're getting the brunt of also that's coming right up the East Coast right now.
Yeah. You guys have hurricanes. We have earthquakes over here in California, where I live. I don't know. I would prefer an earthquake, but everybody in the East Coast tells me they'll take a hurricane any day of the week over an earthquake.
I'll take the hurricanes and the wind and the rain. Anytime.
Yeah.
The ground underneath my feet.
Yeah, there you go. So guys, listen, we recently saw you guys in person. Glenn and I were out there. Joy, one of our account executives here, kind of a pioneer account executive here. You guys were one of the first brokers that got approved with us as well. So thank you for that. You've seen us grow. We've grown with you guys as well too. Vernon, tell us a little bit about, you're the president of Milestone Mortgage Solutions, and we're going to talk a little bit about Craig, the vice president. Tell us a little bit about your company.
So we're relatively a newer company, just like Kind. So when I was called and asked to be kind of a pilot for Kind as a newer broker, I jumped at the opportunity to work with somebody. We've been open going on just shy of 3 years now. We're continuing to grow. We've moved offices. We are up to 4 locations. We are licensed in Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Florida. So it's a very exciting time here for Craig and I to build out somewhat of the team and have these strategic partnerships with Kind, have some of the most seasoned account executives like Joy on our side, helping us out day through day. Some of the best underwriters in the business. You can pick up the phone, call over to any of the underwriters at Kind. So it's been a great partnership for us, and we look forward to continuing the madness.
No, we really appreciate you guys, and you giving us feedback, here at Kind as we're building our portal, as we're doing different things. You guys have been really important to us, giving us that feedback, and we thank you guys. Especially you guys have grown a lot. Craig, you're fairly new to the business, but not really. Because you've been doing so much volume over the last 2 years. As vice president of Milestone Mortgage Solutions, tell us a little bit about your role. And I know you guys have 4 offices now too, and you guys are constantly expanding. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your role and who you partner with.
So I am new to the business. I got into it pretty much when we opened about 3 years ago. I was a firefighter paramedic for about 10 years, and I was looking to do something new, different, along with the firefighting. And I knew Vernon, and we talked, and we thought that it'd be a good idea to try to start doing something a little different. And when we opened, we started it together. And it was a great opportunity for me to learn from somebody that's an absolute beast in this area. And it took off. I mean, I never thought we'd be this busy. I never thought we'd grow this fast. I never thought I'd leave the fire department. And I'm no longer at the fire department. About 8 months ago, I left, which was a hard decision, but it's been well worth it. It allows me more time to help grow the company and keep moving up.
Yeah, you guys are doing an awesome job. It was great to be in your office and talk a little bit strategically of what we're doing here at Kind. Craig, you're very busy, right? You have a lot of real estate agents that you partner with. What do you Vernon kind of talked a little bit about, importance of partnering with strategic partners, right? Wholesale lenders. For you, what makes a real estate agent trust you to earn their business? Because you work with a lot of agents.
Yeah, I do. And that's what I tried to focus my business on when I got into it. I didn't have a book of business to kind of ride the refi boom like everybody else has. So I really tried to focus on the realtors and staying in front of them as much as I can, going out with them, socializing with them, being part of what they're doing in the community to try to grow. So I always try to include myself in that. And they bring me with them all the time, which it becomes very busy, but it helps a lot to have the kind of relationships where you become
more friends with the realtors, than just strictly business partners. But
Right.
being available to them 24/7, is huge. That's what every realtor complains about. Can't get a hold of their loan officer, can't get an answer on the weekend. So as much as you never really get a break, it's what you have to do if you want to be successful in this business.
Yeah, definitely. People do business with people they like and they can rely on, right? And I think that's obvious, with your agent partners, right? Vernon, you guys have were very busy during COVID. We talked a little bit, we joked about it. You guys went in, took a break about going into the office, and then now for a month after when COVID really happened, you guys started going back in. How important, or is it important to you guys for your business to either number one, two-part question, be in your office, have that camaraderie with your other loan officers and your processors, and number two, when it came to meeting people in person, are your borrowers now slowly wanting to come back to meet you in person, or is it still everything's electronic for you? So let's take a stab at those two real quick.
Yeah. So, for question one, I think it's very important to have the loan officer, the team, the Milestone Mortgage Solutions group together in offices.
Yeah.
Because we are a newer company, we're younger. We realize that we're not, a company that's been around for 25 years, and we have an average age, average person here for 15 years, and they know everything. So, without Craig being here, myself, some of the other strategic people inside the company to answer these questions for some of the newer loan officers, let these business partners know that we're here. If they want to cut a new buyer in, anything on that side, we're here. We're available for them. In regards to, do we have clients coming in? Yes, we've had clients coming in. If they wanted to, wear their masks, they got vaccinated. By all means, if they felt comfortable, we were going to feel comfortable. The entire company, for the most part, is vaccinated at this point. We might have a couple stragglers. From that standpoint, we're open to it. We service a community that really likes that face-to-face conversation. They want us to go over those disclosures with them, go over all their numbers. I found it over the last 17, 18 years I've been in the business that a lot of clients want to shake your hand. They want to do business with a person. It's important for the real estate agent to know that they can trust you. If that client has a problem, they have a question, they know they can walk right into my office. They're not having to pick up the phone, call an 800 number because, the loan officer is going to avoid them for the next 4 or 5 days. So we're really right in front of our clients 24/7, business partners. They know they can get a hold of us. It's a big family atmosphere here at Milestone, right? I mean, Craig and I pride ourselves on always being there for our loan officers, our operations staff. If they need something, and we're not talking about anything to do with mortgages, if they need something for a party at their house, they need some time off, they've gone through some troubled time. It's really more of a family business that I wanted to grow here and pop out into the community. Craig does a lot for the community. We try to give back to different organizations. We're on, a couple different nonprofit boards. So there's really a lot that goes into the community. It's not just all about closing that deal, making a dollar. We want to do the right thing by the consumer. We want to do the right thing by the realtor partner. We want to be upfront. If a deal doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? I mean, We've been dealing with the Joys. I mean, I've known Joy, our account executive at Kind now for, oh my goodness, I'm going to date myself, 13, 14 years now. Yeah. She's never told me, Vern, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. And then it blows up, 3 weeks into it. Like, you have to just be upfront and honest if you want to keep those relationships, the way that we try to pride ourselves on.
Yeah. Let's, I got to be honest, I've been traveling all over, right? It was fun to see you guys. We're in Florida next month. I was just in San Luis Obispo. We're in Pennsylvania. There's a lot to be said about, you said it best, shaking hands. Like, we went to lunch, we talk a lot about, our businesses, what you guys do, who you guys are. And I think that goes a long way. In coupling that with what you said about Joy, right? I'm going to give Joy a plug because Joy is by far, one of the best AEs that I've ever worked with, right? I've worked with her. I've had the pleasure of working with her since 2012. She knows her stuff. And I think that's why her customers respect her, because of what you said. She's never going to give you kind of the fake news, lead you down a path that's not going to be the right way. And I think thank you for saying that, guys, because that is important to us. The AE, we feel, is extremely important to us here at Kind Lending. They're a voice for loans other than you guys that have that partner. So that's really important to us here at Kind. Let's talk real quick, shifting a little bit, Craig, to you a little bit about, you work with agents, like we mentioned. Have you seen the dynamic change for the first-time home buyer? Like you must be dealing with a lot of first-time home buyers, right? Or have you seen that dynamic? Is a millennial starting to push more into that market? Are you seeing people that have rented for the last 5 years get into that market? What's been your pulse so far when it comes around maybe the first-time home buyer, people getting back into the purchase market?
Yeah, I definitely think that I work with most first-time home buyers. A lot of the agents, we're trying to generate business, trying to generate leads, and that comes with first-time home buyers who don't already have agents that are set up. So that kind of transitions over to me. So we work a lot with first-time home buyers, and we definitely are seeing a huge influx of people who have rented for a while, and the rents are just getting so expensive that it makes more sense to buy a house.
Right.
So you have a lot more people now that are trying to figure out how they can buy, how much they can afford, and where they can buy. And I spend a lot of time. I mean, as Vern said, I love having people come sit in my office.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever lost the deal when they came and sat down with me. The online stuff is good. It helps. It's quick at times, but I prefer, especially for those first-time home buyers, to come sit down because they have all the questions. They don't know what's going on. They need that guidance. So the more time that I can spend, if I can take an hour and sit down with them and guide them through the process in the beginning, one, they're going to be a client for life, and two, the whole transaction is going to be a lot smoother because they're going to trust you and they're not going to have doubt every time you send them a piece of paper to sign.
Right. Yeah, that's a big point. I think the doubt piece is what fears most first-time home buyers, right? Especially this environment. Like you hit in California, all over the country, we're seeing rents, be sometimes more than a mortgage payment, right? And there's so many different options for people to buy a home, right, and have a better monthly payment on that. So I think definitely the first-time home buyers has been increasing. Guys, for you guys, you guys, there's a lot of wholesale lenders, a lot of lenders that go out and ask you for your business, for both of you guys, constantly calling you, hey, give us a shot, our pricing's the best, or we're running a special, or whatever the case may be when they call it. In our industry, one of the most beautiful things about it is you guys can choose who you want to work with, or you can put somebody on the sideline if they're not behaving the right way, or that's the option for you guys, right? Which is the best. Why I feel the mortgage broker is the best option for financing, mortgage loan financing. So for you guys, you hit on some stuff, Vernon, on why it's important you guys are delivering to Kind, but what are some other things that it sticks out to you guys? Technology and price, having a solid underwriting. What else brings you to delivering to a lender? The AE is a big part of that, as you mentioned. Are there anything else that both of you guys say, hey, Del, this is important as well, too, not just price, although it's very important, the price offering is important. Is there anything else that sticks out?
So, Del, again, I'm going to go back to, how I feel about running a company with the employees all the way from there. I treat every borrower. I know Craig does. I mean, since he's been in the business from day one, we've talked, we train each other. I learned from Craig. He doesn't realize that he's been in the business for 3 years. I learned more from him than he probably learns from me at this point.
That's awesome.
One of the big things and the takeaways are that we really want to get these buyers to the best investor with the smoothest process. So it's not that I care about who's got the cheapest rate. I don't care about who's got the fastest turn time. I care about being able to trust my business partner and, let it be known. I don't know. You're going to know better than me, 20, 25, 30 investors that we're probably signed up with. I can sit here and honestly say I deal with about 2.5 of those investors, right? So, maybe I have a half a bucket that there's just some transactions that Kind's not going to be able to do, or another investor, and then I have that bucket. And, one of the strong things to do is we have to do the right thing by the consumer. It's not about price. It's not about who's going to execute better. What it is, it's all about relationships. So the relationship piece for me is something that I push inside of Milestone, and I push on the streets. If you want the best rate, you might go to an investor. It's going to take 60 days. I'm going to pull my hair out and I'm going to ask you for your firstborn child and blood type.
Right.
Or, I can go with a nice, seamless transaction. We're not going to rip you apart. and you're going to close on time. We're going to hit your commitment dates, and my business partners are going to trust me in order to close that. So many times I see, our competitors, some other brokers, some other, national banks, they're trying to sell that interest rate. But the problem is they're not going to close. They're not going to hit those dates. And in this market, as competitive as it is, just to get an offer accepted, on a daily basis, I can't say enough about, Craig and Milestone just in a matter of 3 years. I'm hearing on the streets that, our pre-approvals are being accepted before some other pre-approvals, even though our buyers have a little bit lower of an offer price. Not that they may not be able to go up to it, but they see the pre-approval coming in from Craig, coming from Melanie, anybody else in the company. And they're going to accept that pre-approval because they know that if we wrote that pre-approval, we verified their tax returns, pay stubs, bank statements, and then they know that we're going to close because we're not dealing with 12, 13, 18 investors. I know we have that opportunity, and that's the great part about being on the broker channel, but we don't need to use all 15, 18, 25 of these investors. I don't even call back most of the investors that call me. I know what they do. If I need them, and the 2.5 investors that I use primarily can't do it, I usually tell my everybody that works with us, it might not be a transaction that Milestone wants to do or that you should want to do. If it's going to jeopardize the relationship with you and that consumer, or you and that business partner, or the accountant, or the financial planner that referred them to us, let them go somewhere else, go through those struggles, and then they'll understand why we didn't take that transaction on. Sometimes the best thing to do is say no. And people aren't used to hearing that 2021. But the best thing I tell everybody, and it's the hardest thing, just say no. Like sometimes you can't do it. Not everybody is ready to buy today. We have programs to get, credit repair and things like that to get them ready to buy, but it might be in 6 or 12 months.
Right. Yeah. That's a really good point. It is hard to say no, right? It takes a unique talent to be able to say no with confidence and really stand by it. And they're right. There might not be options for people at the time. And I think that's where you guys are professionals when it comes to that, based on experience, who should be buying right now, who should wait. And I think that's a great thing to mention, guys, one of the things that we do here, and I'm going to ask both of you guys this, and I don't know if you guys have it or not. And I know there's probably everybody's watching you guys at your office, and I know there's the winds blowing and all that because of the storm. So what I want to do is kind of close this out with questions for you guys, right? I'm a firm believer in like a morning routine, right? Whatever it is, right? Wake up early, jump on the Peloton that's right here in my shoulder right now, or whatever you guys do, right? But I have a morning routine that I stick to pretty consistently. Do you guys have a morning routine that you guys stick to? Is there something that no matter what, I have my cup of coffee and I do something in the morning? Craig, do you have one by chance you want to share?
My morning routine, to be honest with you, is to get up as fast as possible and to get into the office so I can get as much work done before everybody else shows up. Because that gives me the time to catch up, to do what I need to do, to set myself up for the day, especially because our office is full of people 24/7 trying to get some work done. Somebody's coming in with a question. Somebody's coming in with the phone's ringing, an agent's walking in. So the earlier that I can get here, the more that I can get done. And that's really what I try to do to stay ahead of the game. And I'll stay as late as I need to make sure that all happens, because the day goes by really, really fast. And before you know it, it's 6 o'clock at night, and then everybody's gone and it's all over.
Yeah. That's funny. That's I'll touch on that real quick. What about you, Vernon?
I'm up 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. I do have my morning coffee. I'm not aggressively running out the door like Craig is. I'm in my mid-20s, so those days are over. I do have a 10 and a 7-year-old, so I'm usually trying to coordinate if I have to drop somebody off at camp now in the summertime. I do like to get to the office as early as possible, just get myself organized from the day, catch up from anything I missed the night before via emails or voicemails, etc. Return those calls that I missed. But one of the main things, and Craig's huge proponent of it is, we'll stay here till 7:30, 8 o'clock. We'll relax. That's where we're talking shop, going through things, talking about deals that we have going on or scenarios that popped up on our desks, and get that stuff. And that's really another part of our business that I think has separated us, is the agents are just as busy as us. So those hours between 5 and 7:30 at night where everybody else has shut it down, and we're calling these people back, calling the agents, business partners, giving them updates on the loans, right? So, we're all busy, processes are busy. So that's one of the main key components is making sure that, the business partners are brought up to speed throughout the whole process, just touching base, even if it's a quick text, hey, conditionally approved, 4 conditions on it, make sure you schedule that appraisal as soon as possible. But yeah, the morning routine for me, that's hit or miss. As long as my goal is to be here by 8:30, then I'm winning every day.
Yeah, and that coffee is important too. I got my other cup of coffee right here for me too. Yeah, guys, I have a morning routine. I wake up at 4 every day, right? When I was helping you guys set up, and we're talking. I mean, last time I saw you guys, we were talking about morning routines, waking up at 4 a.m. and all that kind of good stuff. Well, Craig, like you, I like to get a head start in the morning. It's a lot quiet in the morning. I have 4 kids, as I told you guys, and it gets kind of crazy here at the Aguilar household for sure. So, well, listen, guys. Is there wind blowing? Can you guys hear me okay?
We just I think we have a fire alarm going off, so we're not sure if it's something hit the trees or.
Yeah, so we'll let you guys go. But listen, Vernon, Miles, Craig, Snell, thank you guys so much for being our first guest on season 3 of Del Talk. We really appreciate you guys. Milestone Mortgage Solutions, great job. I wish you guys more and more success. Thank you for being one of our pioneer customers. We really appreciate you guys very much. And stay safe out there with that storm.
We appreciate it. Thank you, Del.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon. All right.
Thank you.